Think making more money makes you rich? Think again. Welcome to Finances with Finn, where we expose money mistakes before.
Okay, so you've definitely seen it. It's arguably the internet's single most famous financial framework, the 50-30-20 budget rule. I mean, it's pushed by massive retail banks, endless budgeting apps, and pretty much every personal finance influencer out there. And it promises financial peace in just 3 simple numbers. But there is a harsh, almost completely ignored reality hiding right behind this perfectly packaged advice. The vast majority of people who actually sit down and try to implement it, they end up abandoning the whole thing by day 60 out of pure unadulterated frustration. They just throw their hands up, declare, you know what, I'm just bad with money, and walk away entirely. But listen, you aren't bad with money. The rule itself just has a few hidden cracks. So in this explainer, we're going to look at the 3 specific places where this famous rule breaks down and exactly how to fix it so you can finally build a financial machine that actually works for you.
Okay, let's dive into this. The elegant baseline of the 50-30-20 rule is actually incredibly straightforward. The math goes like this. You take your after-tax income, so the money that actually lands in your checking account, and you just split it into 3 distinct slices. 50% goes to your needs. Think of this as your survival bucket, right? Rent, groceries, utilities, basic transportation, minimum debt payments. Then 30% goes to your wants. This is your enjoy bucket. So restaurants, streaming services, hobbies, travel, essentially the nicer version of anything. And finally, 20% goes to savings. This is your escape bucket, your emergency fund, investing, retirement, extra debt payments. Sounds simple, elegant, and foolproof, right?
But we really need to shatter the illusion of this perfect rule right now. If it's so great, why do up to 80% of people fail to stick to this seemingly flawless pie chart? Well, the problem isn't the intention. The problem is the massive gap between the pristine theory of a spreadsheet and the messy reality of human psychology and modern life. There are 3 very specific places where this financial machine breaks down, leaving people feeling totally defeated.
Failure number 1, wants wearing need costumes.
So this breakdown is driven by sheer cognitive dissonance. When you start budgeting, your brain suddenly acts like this brilliant, highly paid defense lawyer, passionately arguing to the judge that all of your fun, luxurious expenses absolutely belong in the strict survival category. Let's look at how this plays out in real life. A car to get you to your job. Okay, yeah, that is a need. But the upgraded $650 a month model with the panoramic roof, the heated leather seats, and the premium sound system, that extra $300 a month is not a need. It's a want dressed up in a need costume. Food to keep you alive? Absolutely a need. A $19 sushi delivery arriving at your door at 10 p.m. with extra delivery fees slapped on just because you were too tired to boil pasta? Come on, that's a want. A phone is a need. Getting the absolute newest model every 12 months on a payment plan is a want. When you don't separate the base utility of an item from the premium upgrades you've tacked onto it, those hidden upgrades just silently drain your entire budget from the inside out. The solution here is a really powerful exercise called the Needs Audit. I challenge you to sit down tonight and list out your 10 biggest monthly expenses. Next to each one, strip away all the noise, the branding, the convenience, and ask yourself, what is the absolute cheapest version of this that keeps me safe, housed, fed, and employed? Then just calculate the gap between what you are currently paying and that bare-bones number. That gap, that's your disguised want money. Actually, most people who run this audit discover a hidden $150 to $300 a month they were completely losing track of. And realize this isn't about making some painful sacrifice. It is an incredibly empowering discovery of your own hidden resources. Let's move on to failure number 2, the expensive city trap. Now, if you live in a high-cost area like New York, London, or Sydney, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. Rent or your mortgage alone can easily swallow 40 to 50% of your take-home pay right off the bat. So telling someone whose rent eats half their paycheck to just spend less on needs isn't helpful advice. It's frankly insulting. The math physically does not fit. But you know what? You don't have to abandon the system entirely. You just need to adjust your ratios honestly. If you live in an expensive city, a 60-20-20 split is perfectly valid. If you live in a brutally expensive city, or maybe you're currently on a lower income, 70-10-20 might be a reality right now. So the crucial point is this. Notice what never shrinks on the right side of this table, the 20% savings slice. The very moment your savings becomes the flexible slice, it instantly becomes the invisible slice. Protect your savings at all costs and squeeze your wants instead.
And that brings us to failure number 3, monthly plans, daily temptations.
Listen, this is the sneakiest trap of all. The 50-30-20 rule typically operates on a monthly timeline, but temptation doesn't happen monthly, right? Temptation happens daily. If your budget says you have $1,200 a month for wants, that large number feels practically infinite at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday when a flash sale is ending in exactly 3 hours. Because that number is so large and abstract, most people quietly spend 90% of their entire monthly wants budget by day 20. And that turns the last 10 days of the month into an exercise in pure misery, or even worse, heavy credit card damage. To fix this, we need a magic bullet math hack, and that hack is the number 4.3. Because there are, on average, 4.3 weeks in a month, we are going to completely abandon the monthly timeline for your discretionary spending. Instead, you're going to divide your monthly wants budget by 4.3 to create a tangible, strict weekly allowance.
Let's look at how that math works. A broad, abstract $1,200 a month instantly becomes a highly focused $280 a week. Shifting to a weekly timeline gives your brain a number it can actually feel and comprehend. And here's the best part. If you mess up and overspend on a Thursday, you don't have to suffer for 3 whole weeks. Your bad week just rolls over into a fresh start on Monday, rather than totally ruining your entire month. It is the exact same overall budget, but with a wildly higher psychological survival rate. All right, now that we've patched those holes, it's time for our final solutions, upgrading to automatic.
Look, trying to budget by the sheer force of your personality and willpower is a losing game. Willpower gets tired. Willpower gets stressed out. Budgeting by force of personality loses, but budgeting by architecture wins every single time. We need to build systems that do the heavy lifting for you. So here are the 2 ultimate system upgrades you need to implement. First up, pay yourself first. The classic 50-30-20 implies you just save whatever happens to be left over at the end of the month. But Parkinson's law states that spending will always expand to fill the money available. If you leave it sitting in your checking account, you will absolutely find a way to spend it. So automate that 20% savings transfer out of your account the exact instant your paycheck lands. You literally cannot spend what isn't there. Second, implement the 24-hour rule. Freeze any non-essential want over $50 for exactly 1 day. Marketers intentionally engineer urgency to make you buy impulsively. Forcing a 1-day delay lets the dopamine wear off, and honestly, half the time, you'll find that tomorrow you simply doesn't even care about buying it anymore.
Okay, so here is your exact sequential 30-day challenge path to implement starting tonight. Step 1, run that needs audit and find your hidden money. Step 2, pick your honest ratio. Whether it's 50-30-20 or 70-10-20, there is absolutely no shame in adjusting for your reality. Step 3, set up that auto transfer for your savings slice so it happens without you even lifting a finger. And step 4, divide your wants by 4.3 and strictly live on that weekly allowance. Try this for just 30 days. And hey, wobbling and making mistakes along the way, perfectly normal. The only true failure here is quitting.
To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to reflect on right now. Really be honest with yourself. Which bucket is currently destroying your budget? Is it the disguised needs, the out-of-control wants, or are you staring at the what savings bucket? Identifying your own weakest link is the very first step to building a financial machine that finally works for you. Take control of the rule, don't let it control you, and start building your system today.